Hello everyone and welcome back to the Colorado Rockies franchise. In the last episode, the Rockies went on a pretty crazy win streak, losing the first game to Philadelphia, and then they have not lost since. Currently, we've won 8 in a row. We had the day off on Thursday, and now we'll play the Nationals to try to increase the win streak to 9. And if we can win today, we will be 500 for the first time since the season started, when we were 0-0. During this win streak, pretty much everyone on the team has been red hot, and weirdly enough, Yanquiel Fernandez is leading us in RBIs despite the low 213 average. But the team is on fire, and today we are going to try to extend that win streak to 9 games and get back to 500. The Colorado Rockies, freshly rested, coming off of a day off, looking to extend their win streak to 9 straight games. Welcome to Coors Field, everyone, where the Rockies at 16-17 are facing the Nationals at 13-18 and have a good opportunity to get back to 500 for the first time in honestly probably a couple years. Mike Soroka's on the mound for Colorado. He's had a pretty good whip, but a not so good ERA at a 4.2. It's not bad, but it could always be better. CJ Abrams will lead off the Nationals, and we'll see the first pitch from Mike Soroka. This is actually his on-screen debut for us, and that is a called strike one. This is a grounder to Brendan Rodgers and a routine play to start the day, out number 1. Luis Garcia is the next man up, and Soroka's first pitch is a changeup low. And a soft grounder to the first base side. Cohen will toss it on to Soroka, and that's 2 gone. Oh my goodness, this one high and deep to right from Ruiz. It looks like it's going to be off the top of the wall. Nolan Jones gets it back in quickly, and the runner could be out at second. No, they're safe. It was closer than maybe it should have been. The 18 speed not doing Ruiz any favors, but nearly a home run. That is a double with 2 gone in the inning, and the Nationals have a little bit of life here. That one a grounder onto Tovar. It was pretty fast, but a very routine play for the shortstop. And that will be the end of the top part of the first. The Rockies will look to get their 9th straight win against Josiah Gray today, who is honestly having a pretty good season. A 3.2 ERA with a 1.3 whip. Kevin Kiermaier, the leadoff man. Let's get this going. Full count to Kiermaier. Nolan Jones on deck. And he'll push this one opposite field into left. And he's going to head for 2. It gets to the wall, and that should be a stand-up double for Kevin Kiermaier to lead off the day for the Rockies. A great way to start. He'll give Nolan Jones the opportunity to bat him home. Nolan, of course, been red hot during this win streak as well. He's in an 0-2 count here, though. And that's a swing and a miss on a really good sinker from Gray. And down goes Nolan. Brings up Alex Verdugo, who is batting in the 3 spot against right-handed pitching. Verdugo right back up the middle, and this one should score Kiermaier. Although there is a throw coming in from center field, but Kiermaier slides in headfirst. He is safe. And Verdugo with the RBI. The Rockies take an early lead here in Colorado, right down the middle on the slider. Verdugo drives it right back where it came from, and it's 1-0 Rockies. Barry Cohen now at the plate, still the 4-hitter, only batting a .219 so far this season. Cohen got a slider right down the middle, but kind of some weak contact. I mean, it still went pretty deep to right, but you'd want him to crush a pitch like that, and that's 2 gone now in the inning. Brendan Rodgers at the plate, batting in the 5-hole against right-handed pitching. Rodgers looks at the first 3 pitches, and they're all balls, so 3-0 count for him. Maybe he'll get one to hit here. And he does, and he sends it into the gap in left. This is likely going to score Verdugo, and it's definitely going to be a stand-up double for Brendan Rodgers, and it's 2 runs in the first inning for Colorado off of a Verdugo hit, and now a Brendan Rodgers double. His 3rd double on the season, and the 2nd run on the day for the Rockies. The bats are red hot, as you can tell, as Mejia is now at the plate. Count is full for Mejia, and battles off the cutter that maybe would have been called a ball. Hard to say. And that's ball 4 for Francisco Mejia. And that'll bring up our top RBI guy on the whole team. That's Yanquiel Fernandez. Interestingly, he only has a 200 average with runners in scoring position, but he somehow leads the team in RBIs currently. And he pushes this one into the gap, and it's going to be at least one more RBI for the young man. And we'll send the runner at third home. It might be a play at the plate, but that's a double for Fernandez, and it is 2 more RBIs for him. 4-0 Colorado, a 2-out rally going. The 7th double on the season for Fernandez. I believe it's his 23rd and 24th RBIs. He is killing it in his debut with the Rockies this year. So now it's Ezequiel Tovar, another young man on this Rockies team, finds himself with a 4-0 lead to start the day, and that was a hanging slider again from Gray. And he'll pop this one way up, an easy play for the shortstop. And 4 runs is all the Rockies are going to get in the first, but that is enough for a pretty substantial lead. Verdugo and Fernandez and Rogers all with RBIs, and the Rockies looking primed to get their 9th straight victory. Soroka back on the mound, and now with a cushion to start the game. Didn't even have to wait very long. If you look at the pitches here, 1, 2, and 3, the third one is a called strike on a changeup. That is crazy. Very expanded strike zone, which is different from what we saw last episode, where an umpire had the most narrow strike zone I've ever seen. That was a hanging sinker. Kiermaier should get to this, and he does. And that is a grounder onto third, an easy play for Sterling Thompson, and 1, 2, 3 go the Nationals. And it's the man who just made the play leading us off, the 9-hitter Sterling Thompson, batting a .224 so far this season. He got one to crush down the middle, and it is going to be a base hit, but you'd want maybe like a double or a triple or, even a home run off of a pitch like that. But we'll take it. A base runner is a base runner. We're seeing Josiah Gray very well today, and he has left some pitches right down the middle. Full count for Kiermaier, already 43 pitches, and we're only in the second for Josiah Gray. Kiermaier grounds this one to second. It's going to be a difficult double play, and it's not even close at first. So a fielder's choice at second gets 1 out in the inning, but Kiermaier too fast to be doubled up. Taking off to steal is Kiermaier, and he's called safe at the bag. A good steal from him. And now a runner in scoring position for Nolan Jones, who has a 3-1 count. And he'll walk on the cut fastball. Now it's 2 on and only 1 gone for Verdugo, who already has an RBI today. Verdugo battling, now a 2-2 count. Fouled off a couple, looked at a couple balls. There's ball number 3 for Verdugo. And that's ball 4 to Alex Verdugo on the slider. Bases loaded for the rookie, Barry Cohen. He's been bad with runners in scoring position this season. Could turn it around right here. Cohen got a cut fastball right down the middle, and he pops it up in foul territory. And that's the second out. Brutal from Barry Cohen. Should have been able to crush that one. I mean, it was right in the wheelhouse. Instead, that's out number 2, and now it's up to Brendan Rodgers to find the gap again, maybe score some additional runs for the Rockies this inning. The key has just been very patient at bats. 62 pitches for Gray, and we're not even out of the second yet. Oh, but an easy grounder to short means that the bases loaded 1-out situation will not come to fruition for the Rockies. No runs scored in the inning. Back to defense as Soroka's got the bats working for him today. Unfortunately, didn't get any further run support in that inning. So after another routine play, it's 2 gone here in the third now for Soroka, who is having a very easy outing so far. And a pop-up from Abrams goes basically right to Kiermaier in center. And that is the end of the top part of the third. Well, the Rockies seem to have this one in hand right now, so let's do some quick simming and get through this one. A 2-run shot for Verdugo after a Kiermaier walk means it's now 6-0 Colorado. Just pouring it on, and Verdugo batting third has been something else. A 2-run shot from Ezequiel Tovar now in the 5th. It's 8-0 Colorado. They're pouring it on. Yanquiel Fernandez singles, Tovar bats him in with a 2-run shot, and it's 8-0 Rockies. My goodness. Nolan Jones and Kevin Kiermaier walk back to back. One gone in the inning. It's Verdugo again, but he flies out. Cohen, can you get anything done? He singles, bases loaded for Brendan Rodgers. He flies out, no further runs in the inning. Quietly, Soroka continuing to have a nice day, kind of being overshadowed by the fact that the bats are working so well. 8-0. Only 2 hits allowed for Soroka, and he just got through the 6th, no problem. Still has half his energy left. Back-to-back singles, Mejia and Fernandez. A double play for Tovar, but Mejia now at third. If Sterling Thompson can bat him in, and he can. Another run for the Rockies. It's now 9-0. A solo shot ends the shutout for Soroka, as Ruiz, the guy who almost hit a home run in the first inning, actually finally does get a home run, but it's 9-1 Colorado. I'm going to let Soroka continue, but this will probably be his final inning of work. I'm letting him go in the 8th, and he's got a ground out and a strikeout and then a ground out. So he got through 8 innings of 1-run pitching. Did Soroka. An excellent outing for him. We'll definitely bring somebody else in the 9th. And we bring in Loaizaga. He gets the first 2 outs in the 9th. A single from Garcia and a flyout from Ruiz means the Rockies have defeated the Nationals 9-1, are officially 500 again on the season, and that is the 9th straight victory for the Rockies. Soroka getting a much-deserved dub today. And the Rockies, the bats are cooking. Just an offensive explosion from Colorado during this win streak. Here's the box score. Nolan Jones actually not involved in the hit parade, but did draw 3 walks on the day. So you can't be too upset about that. He was reaching base constantly. Just didn't get a hit. Everyone else, though, did. Fernandez got 3 of them with a couple more RBIs. Verdugo with 2 hits and 3 RBIs. He walked once as well. Really good day for the Rockies all the way around. When will the streak end for Colorado? I feel like we got to continue playing along as long as they're winning. Glenn Otto, the pitcher, set to be on the mound in the second game against the Nats. The Rockies could get over 500 for the first time in like 3 seasons. So what we're going to do, we're going to start quick managing this one, see how it's going, and then potentially pop in if we feel like we can catch the dub for the Rockies. So here we go. It's Glenn Otto on the mound against the Nationals, looking to get the Rockies what would be 10 victories in a row. An error allows Ruiz to get on at third, and that does not come back to bite Otto. Runner thrown out at home. Otto gave up a single and a double to start the inning, so this is not a great start for the Rockies, but the runner was thrown out at home, so no runs scored. A strikeout, a single. That time it does score a run, and the Rockies down 1-0, and a fly out. Runners on the corners after Cohen walks and Mejia singles here in the second. Good opportunity for some runs from Ezequiel Tovar, but he strikes out. Can Fernandez, our RBI leader, bring him home? No, he cannot. And the Nats score another run. Otto giving up a lot of hits today. 2 singles and a stolen base from Ruiz is what ended up bringing that run around. And then a 2-run shot for McGarry means that the Rockies are in a 4-0 hole now. Glenn Otto not having a good outing so far. He's honestly not been good as a starter so far this season. Gives up another single. Bases loaded for Glenn Otto. Let's jump in. This is probably the final inning of work for Glenn Otto, as we'll go to our bullpen, warm up Ferguson. This has been a terrible, terrible outing from the 5th guy in our pitching rotation. It's a good strike to Brady House. So bases loaded with 2 gone in the inning. Can Otto get out of this pickle he's put himself in? It was, what, 6 hits in a row or something like that before we jumped in? Strike 3 looking to House. And that will be the end of the top of the 3rd, but probably the end of Glenn Otto's day, as he has been horrendous. Let's see if we can get the bats going for the Rockies. Sterling Thompson at the plate, up to a 2.35 average on the year. Pops this one way up in the infield. Not even to the dirt, past the grass in the infield. And that's out number 1. Kiermaier got a fastball right down the middle and just got no power on it whatsoever. Could not put it, he put it in play, just couldn't put it in any gap in the field. Hate to see it. That was one he should have probably crushed. Nolan Jones now at the plate has not been the best so far this series, other than his ability to draw walks. It's looking like this might be the end of the streak for the Rockies. I know it's still early. It's only the third, but Otto did not put us in a great situation. Strike 3 on a really good fastball to Nolan Jones, and that'll end the third. So that's the end of Glenn Otto's day. He only gets through 3 innings, allows 4 runs. Could have been worse, but could have obviously been a lot better. We'll bring in maybe our best reliever so far this year. That's Caleb Ferguson. His stuff has been filthy to start the season. That one is popped way up. Mejia will get underneath it, and that'll be the first out of the fourth. So let's get back into quick managing. Ferguson allows a single, strikes out Ruiz, allows another single, and then a fielder's choice ends the inning. Solo shot for Ahmed Rosario, who is our DH against left-handed pitching. Gets the Rockies on the board. Only their second hit of the day, actually. So it's 4-1. There's a little bit of life here. We'll jump back in an inning later. In the top of the 5th, it's still Caleb Ferguson on the mound. There's 2 gone in the inning. He's facing Brady House with a runner on second. And that's a called strike at the top of the zone, 0-2 count. And a strikeout on House means that Caleb Ferguson gets through 2 solid innings of work. Looking for any semblance of an offense, it's the 7-hitter Ezequiel Tovar. Had a good game in the first day against the Nationals. That one was right down the middle, but he didn't get a lot of this one, even though the timing was good. And that's the first out. Yanquiel Fernandez got one that was hanging at the top of the zone. It's high and deep to right, but just in front of the warning track is the right fielder, and that is the second out. And now it's Sterling Thompson at the bottom of the order, maybe looking to get a 2-out rally going here in the 5th. Thompson looks at strike 3. That is the end of the 5th. They'll bring in Kyle Freeland to hopefully get at least 2 innings of work out of him as well, while the Rockies offense tries to put it together. Back to the quick managing. Freeland got through his inning, 3 up, 3 down. Single for Kiermaier's a good start, but then a flyout for Nolan. And a 2-run shot for Brendan Rodgers means the Rockies are only down by 1. 4-3 here in the 6th. Rodgers makes the game close. Can Barry Cohen do the same? No, another flyout. Rosario singles, and it's still alive here in the 6th, but a strikeout there. So now Freeland just needs to keep it the same. The bats are coming to life a little bit offensively. So Freeland 3 up, 3 down again would be absolutely perfect. He does it again. Freeland has been excellent as a reliever this season. So now it's the bottom part of the order again in the 7th. Tovar, Fernandez, and Thompson. Tovar starts us off with a single, and we'll see a pitching change. And a double play for Fernandez kills the hope to start that inning. We'll leave Freeland in. He walks the first, and there's a stolen base. This is not a good start for Kyle Freeland. Let's jump in. Let's see if we can get Freeland out of this situation with no further runs scored for the Nats. It's facing off against Nick Senzel. It's a 2-2 count. Fouls that one off. And this one might score the runner. He is rounding third. It is Kiermaier, who's got a good arm, but it's off the mark. And that is a run scored for the Nationals. Kyle Freeland starting to struggle a little bit here, allowing a base hit, which allows another run. We're going to bring in Chafin now to take over. Probably should have done this on the last batter, to be honest with you, but Chafin's ERA has been absolutely horrible this year. He'll face Brady House, who has struck out every time I've faced him, I feel like. And he kind of gets a weird hit. That had a strange amount of power. A great play by Ezequiel Tovar. Very Derek Jeter looking. Had to swing through a pitch that was very inside, and it almost rocketed into the gap there between third and short, but Tovar makes the play. That did advance the runner to second, though. Really no play to be made there. Pop up from C.J. Abrams behind the plate. Mejia should have no problem with this one. And that's 2 gone now for Chafin. Still the runner on second, but looking like a good shot to get out of this. This one is actually going to get down, it looks like, in front of Nolan Jones. He's got a big arm as well. Took his time throwing that, though, and safe is the call at the plate. I feel like if he just came up throwing instead of taking the little hop, that would have saved a run there because it was an excellent throw. And he does have a big arm. That was a very high slider, but it was away from the batter. So a pretty good piece of hitting from Garcia. And now the Nats are up by 3 once again. And this one is blooped to center. It's going to get down as well. And that's another base hit for the Nationals, kind of pouring it on in a 2-out rally here. Soft contact, but it's getting down in the outfield. And I didn't want to have to use another pitcher this inning, but it's a better matchup for Curtis, the righty-righty matchup. So we'll bring him in. He's actually been one of our better relievers, and Chafin continues to disappoint. Definitely a guy I'm probably looking to trade at the deadline. A great pitch to start the day for John Curtis. This one kind of blooped into right. Nolan Jones gets under it, though, and that is finally the end of the top of the 8th. The Rockies bat's going to need to get it going if we want a victory here tonight. It's Jordan Weems on the mound, and it's the top of the order for the Rockies. Looking to extend the victory to 10 straight. Swing and a miss for Kiermaier on a slider. I was looking for a fastball, to be honest. That is on me, not on Kiermaier. Jones got a piece of this one, and it's pretty deep to left. Is it going to get down? It is in the outfield, and it's an easy stand-up double for Nolan Jones. Considered sending it to third, but didn't want to risk it. So a 1-out double for Nolan, and now we've got a little bit of a chance for some offense. Bring up Brendan Rodgers, who has been red hot during this win streak. Can he continue that level of play? One right down the middle. He swings through it. Timing was slightly early, but the missed contact is on Rodgers. And now that fastball is much better location. So he finds himself in an 0-2 hole. Brendan Rodgers swings and misses on a filthy slider. And that's 2 gone in the inning. That's so much movement. Now it's Barry Cohen. A home run here would bring it back to within 1 run. And he got one to hit, but he rockets it at the third baseman. I mean, you heard the crack off the bat. He could not have hit that any harder, but he hit it right at the third baseman. If that gets through, it's probably a double and a run scored. Would have been 6-4. Instead, it's 6-3. So we're leaving Curtis in. Well, let's see if he can get through this top part of the 9th, and then we'll come in for the bats. He does very easily. And it's Ahmed Rosario to lead us off in the 9th against Hunter Harvey. The Rockies' last hope comes down to the bottom of the 9th. Need to tie it, or even better, let's walk it off. Down 0-2 is Rosario. Hunter Harvey has good stuff, throws very fast. That one he pushes into right, but a play is made by the right fielder, and it's looking like the win streak is over at 9, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to bring in Verdugo to pinch hit for Mejia. Mejia not great against right-handed pitching. Verdugo, on the other hand, is maybe our best hitter against right-handers that isn't named like Nolan Jones, for example. Harvey does not want to pitch to Verdugo. Every single one of these has been well out of the zone. I just swung at number 2, so it's a 3-1 count. Verdugo got a splitter that was hanging, and he missed it. I was slightly early, but he missed the contact. Full count, Alex Verdugo looks at what's called ball 4. What an incredible walk from Verdugo. And that brings up Ezequiel Tovar. We just need more good at bats like that. If we get good at bats, we'll get base runners, and we have a chance. That one's called a strike, even though the Verdugo one was called a ball. That is crazy. So now it's an 0-2 count. Those pitches right next to each other. I mean, it did touch the plate, so I mean, I can't be too upset that it's called a strike. It's just kind of set the precedent with the Alex Verdugo walk that would be called a ball. Critical at bat here. And he pops this one into right. Is that going to get down? No, the right fielder makes the play. And we are down to our final out. And it's the rookie, Yanquiel Fernandez. He's 3 for 8 in the series with a double and 2 RBIs. Could really use the 2 RBIs here with a home run. Let's see if Fernandez can work some magic, keep it alive for the Rockies. The tying run is on deck. Hunter Harvey's got nasty stuff. I mean, that slider is just perfectly placed. What are you supposed to do? Fernandez, pitch number 2. Looks at the high and inside heat. I mean, that pitch mix, disgusting. An 0-2 hole for Fernandez. Does the win streak die here? No, a foul on the splitter. And I swing at the splitter outside. I tried to check it. I thought it was a slider coming in again. It was a splitter, so it stayed outside. And that is where the win streak ends for Colorado. 9 straight victories and then a loss to the Nationals in game number 2. They gave it a shot, but the pitching just was too bad in this situation, so the Rockies offense could not bring it back. I've been very disappointed in Glenn Otto, now 0-4 this season. I'll have to take a look and see how he did during the actual win streak in that one, but man, this performance was bad. He's been bad this season. He obviously didn't get a win during the win streak because he's 0-4, so it was a no decision for him. Here's the Rockies lineup. Tovar with a hit, Rosario had a couple hits, Mejia with a hit, and then the top 3 batters all had hits. Everyone else with a goose egg. So the Rockies get back to 500 for a day and then fall under 500 the following day. So a short-lived 500, and now we're to the scouting assignments once again. Here's Thomas Jacobs, by the way, a catcher that I'm relatively interested in. I'm just really concerned that he's such a terrible fielder. But man, the high discipline and high contact is something that this Rockies team desperately needs, because we are not high in the OBP department. But I don't know, he's probably not worth the 5th overall pick, but maybe if he's available around 40 when we pick again. So here's Steve Tochiki. He's our draft rank 6. He's got high stamina, high walks per 9. The main concern for me is that his control is so low, but that is something that can be trained up. The walks per 9 is obviously great. The stamina is obviously great, and the pitch break is cool, but this is another one of those guys that I don't necessarily know if he is a Rockies pitcher, because you got to look at every starting pitcher that we look at with the lens of that they're going to be playing in Coors Field. He has low hits per 9. He's going to give up contact frequently, and that can work in certain ballparks where it's harder to hit home runs, but in Coors it's easier than it is anywhere else in the MLB, and it's concerning that his hits per 9 is so low. Also, weirdly, I just noticed he's kind of fast and he has really high stealing. I like Steve a lot. He's probably my favorite pitcher in this class, but I just don't know how much he's a fit for the team. A guy I want to learn more about, though, is Pedro Liriano. He's our draft rank 2. He's the MLB draft rank 4. He's 21 years old, and he's a shortstop that is an incredible fielder with very high speed and good stealing. Looks like the bat has obviously some work to do. Reminds me a lot of Brenton Doyle, to be honest with you, but he plays shortstop. So I'm going to go ahead and have the scout that was scouting Thomas Jacobs scout Liriano instead. It will get him to 100% by the next time we're here. And another guy I'm interested in with maybe our 5th overall pick is Rob Kearns. High contact, high power against lefties, pretty okay power against righties, and his discipline is going to be quite high, it looks like. This is just a really good bat, it seems. It doesn't look like he's going to be a great fielder, which is concerning as a guy who plays 3rd, but maybe he can be moved to 2nd if he has that as a secondary position. So I'm going to scout Rob Kearns for a week as well. So let's do this. Got 3rd baseman and shortstop being scouted. Really, whoever we would take of these 2 guys would be moved to 3rd base more than likely. I think we've got 2nd base and short kind of locked up for the future. We do potentially want a new 3rd baseman with a higher ceiling than Sterling Thompson, though, which is why I'm looking at guys like Kearns and Liriano. Well, now we can get back into simulating. It was a fun little run for the Rockies. They do win again against the Nationals, and Brad Cumbest has an ACL sprain in today's game. He'll be out for 2 weeks, so we'll put him on the 10-day IL. And now we play a really, really good Braves team, and we're in a situation here. We're up by 1 with a runner on base in the 9th. To beat the Braves, let's jump in. It's Ronald Acuna Jr. at the plate, because of course it is. It's Fletcher on first and Jalen Beeks on the mound in a save situation against maybe the best player in the MLB. Best player in the MLB at least last season. Got the MVP for, I believe, the 2nd year in a row. That's 2 really good pitches from Jalen Beeks. Can he get the strikeout on Acuna? He can! A circle change that falls out of the zone, and down goes Acuna. Jalen Beeks has been incredible as the closer, and now he faces Matt Olson, an absolutely loaded Braves lineup. Surprised they have Acuna batting 3rd and not 1st, as we know how good of a leadoff guy he is, and that's strike 2 on Olson. And Beeks, slider away, check swing, they're saying he didn't go. That was close. Now the count is full to Olson, and it's Austin Riley on deck. And that is ball number 4. Beeks kind of lost it during that at bat. 1 gone in the inning. It's now Austin Riley at the plate. And that one is a grounder to right field. Nolan Jones throwing home, and they hold the runner at 3rd. A wise decision. Nolan Jones has a cannon out there in right. And now it's bases loaded for the Braves with still only one gone in the inning. Bit of a hanging slider there from Beeks, gets pushed the other way by Austin Riley. And now it's kind of a sticky situation against Ozzie Albies. Most ideal outcome, of course, would be a double play. I'll take a strikeout or a shallow pop out, as that was a hanging circle change, made me nervous. Man, these are the most patient batters I've ever met. It is a 3-2 count. The walk would tie the game. Beeks, you just got to put it in the zone, and that one is foul. Got to put it in the zone again, and it's a swing and a miss from Albies on what probably would have been ball number 4. A crucial strikeout for Jalen Beeks. And that circle change wasn't even close to where I wanted it. Now he faces Marcell Ozuna. Beeks losing control a bit, I gotta say. His placement has not been great since the first at bat against Acuna. So it has to be a base hit for Ozuna with 2 gone. That's strike number 2. Can Beeks get it done? Ooh, fouled off. Beeks is getting tired, per the manager tip. Can he get it done? He does on the cut fastball. Strike number 3, and the Rockies take the victory 2-1 over the Atlanta Braves. That is a big victory against a very, very good baseball team. Got a little scary there with Beeks at the very end, but he got out of it. Jack Flaherty is the player of the game, went 6 innings, had 4 strikeouts, no walks, and only 1 earned run allowed. A really good performance from Flaherty, a quality start. Loss for Chris Sale, who also had a quality start, went 6 innings, only allowed 2 runs, but that was all it took for the Rockies to win. We take a look at the Rockies box score. It's dominated by Brendan Rodgers. We had 5 hits total. 3 of them were Brendan Rodgers, who was up to a 283 batting average. The guy is red hot, and Eloise Montero is not, batting a 120 coming off the bench at first. Really, really bad. Yanquiel Fernandez down to a 210. Otherwise looking pretty good. The Rockies, by the way, officially over 500 now, 19-18 with that victory over Atlanta. First time over 500 in quite some time, I would imagine. 9-1 in our last 10, and only 6.5 back of the Dodgers. Currently a game and a half back of the Cardinals in the wild card. Not that I think that this team is by any means playoff bound, but it is cool to see us winning for once. That's a big part of why I brought in all the free agents that I did. Atlanta, by the way, one of the best rosters in the MLB, 17-20 to start the year, really struggling. So in game number 2 of this series against Atlanta, Nolan Jones is at the plate with Carson Kelly at second. Well, let's hop in again. Why not? Well, I wanted to bring in somebody to pinch run for Carson Kelly, but the only guy that's really fast enough to do that is Kevin Kiermaier. I don't exactly want to ruin his day off, but I guess if it's to win a game, he won't mind. Let's bring in Kevin Kiermaier to pinch run for Carson Kelly at second. It is Nolan Jones at the plate. There's 2 gone here in the bottom of the 8th, and that was one to hit for sure. Facing off against Raisel Iglesias. Now an 0-1 count. That's ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, bottom of the 8th. The home run, of course, would take the lead for the Rockies. Got really lucky on ball number 3. If you look at pitch number 6, that one was called a ball. So now it's a full count for Nolan Jones, and he walks. So runners on first and second now. Nolan Jones was pinch hitting, I guess, was given the day off today because I just saw he was batting in the 9 spot. Brings up Ahmed Rosario. Not our best batter against right-handed pitching, but there's not a lot of other guys to bring in right now. Rosario, the softest grounder to third I've ever seen, and a force out at second. Man, all that drama just for the quietest out maybe anyone has ever seen. That is so unfortunate. It was a pitch right down the middle, too. Returned to simulating, and now it is the 9th inning, and the Rockies down by 1. Tapia on first, and Barry Cohen at the plate. Batting .225 with a .637 OPS, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs on the season. No way Tapia just got tagged out at first. Tapia just got tagged out at first, and Barry Cohen was the leading run, like it would have taken the lead, and Tapia gets tagged out at first. That is brutal. I have no control over the base running, so I think he was probably going to attempt to steal, and he got picked off. And now Cohen only with the opportunity to tie if he hits a homer instead of take the lead. Strike 3 on the circle change. We're down to the final out of the game. They bring in AJ Minter to face off against Brendan Rodgers, who's 2 for 3 today. The hottest bat in this Rockies lineup, without a doubt, and I was so early on that cut fastball. Got to keep in mind that Minter's cutter is quite slow in the grand scheme of things. I mean, 90's fast, obviously, but compared to other pitchers, that's pretty slow. And he'll get a base hit, a grounder back up the middle. Keeps the hopes alive for Colorado. Alex Verdugo, maybe the second hottest bat behind only Brendan Rodgers during this win streak. Could be a hero here. He's not great against left-handed pitching. Verdugo is battling. 2-2 pitch on its way. And Verdugo swings and misses at a really good cut fastball. And the Rockies will drop the second game against the Braves and fall back to 500 after being 1 up just a game ago. 19-19 now are the Rockies. The Yard Goats do not have 2 valid lineups. I'll go ahead and auto-fix those. Another situation for the Rockies to take a victory over the Braves. We've jumped in a lot this episode. Let's go ahead and sim that one. And we lose a series for the first time in quite some time. So we beat the Phillies, beat the Rays, beat the Giants, beat the Nationals, and then finally have lost a series to Atlanta. So now let's continue simming a bit. We beat the Dodgers, and now the Phillies are offering us a trade. Edmundo Sosa, a third baseman for Brendan Rodgers. Sosa is 29 B potential, 75 overall. Another guy that's really good against lefties and not great against righties, which is what we already have a ton of on this roster. Terrible discipline, older than Rodgers. This is just a bad trade for me. We win back-to-back against the Dodgers. We're over 500 again, chipping away at the Dodgers lead in the division, and now it's time for more scouting, but we could sweep the Dodgers here. Pedro Liriano, he's the draft rank 4, but our draft rank 6. 83 to 93 potential is intriguing, and he can play every position. Second base, third base, left, center, right, and shortstop. The only position he can't play is first in the infield. Man, what a utility guy he would be. He's an incredible fielder, so he could play anywhere out in the field. We just have to work on his bat. He's very intriguing as our first pick. So is Rob Kearns, to be honest with you. The more we scout him, the better he looks. The only concerning thing is that the potential is so wide because he's only 18. What about this guy, Leslie Faulkner? I know he's a center fielder, and we don't necessarily need more outfielders. He's got horrendous power. He's never going to be a power hitter, but he's got very high contact vision and discipline with excellent speed and stealing. Looks like he's going to be a terrible fielder, which sucks. Really bad arm strength, an absolute noodle of an arm. 7 to 41 present arm strength is so bad. So this is maybe not a guy that you necessarily play in the field a lot, but look at those batting numbers. I got to know more about him. Can the Rockies sweep the Dodgers? No, blown out 2-11. Go ahead and sim through this week as well. Riley Pint has a strained finger. We'll keep him active. Brenton Doyle has a knee sprain. We'll keep him active. Cumbest is eligible to be reinstated. Let's activate him. And Pint is no longer injured. Let's activate him. Taylor Bowers, our rookie reliever, has sustained a strained hamstring during today's game. Let's keep him active. So another week of kind of back and forth baseball. We're now 2 games above 500. We beat the Padres in a series 2-1, and then we beat the Cubs in a series 2-1. So we're winning a lot of series. In fact, of our last 8 series, we have won 7 of them. The Rockies are cooking with gas right now, and Yanquiel Fernandez is cooking with gas, absolutely. Up to a 250 average, 30 RBIs, which still leads the team. Ezekiel Tovar is second. These guys are batting at like the bottom of the order. This is like our 7 and 8 hitter batting with numbers like these. That is insane. Look at these numbers from the Rockies, by the way. These are all very respectable, solid, quality batting numbers. Even Sterling Thompson is batting up to a 250. He was a 228 hitter last season, over a 300 OBP. Barry Cohen's still struggling a little bit, but playing fine. Like a 230 average is respectable enough as a rookie, I think. I'd want his OBP to be a bit higher because he does have high discipline. His power against righties has dropped slightly. The only guys on our team that have been bad with the bat are Carson Kelly and Eleris Montero, and they almost never play. All of the guys that are playing incredibly well, and even a guy who's not playing a lot, Raimel Tapia, is playing quite well. well as well. Rosario leading with a 367 OBP. He might need to be the leadoff guy against lefties. And honestly, his contact against righties is better than I thought it was. Barry Cohen, by the way, second in home runs on the team with 6 behind only Nolan Jones. Kind of been a down year for Nolan. He batted a 306 last season, only a 266 this season, but with the 363 OBP. So here's Leslie Faulkner. He jumped from 65th to 20th on our draft board. His contact against righties dipped. His fielding attributes went up slightly, and his vision and discipline are still very, very high. In fact, I think his power jumped up a little bit as well. He's super intriguing, guys. I'm not gonna lie, especially if he's available at 65, because we pick at 40, and if he's there, I would happily take him around 40th. And I want to know more about Connie Cruz. He is the draft rank 61, our draft rank 60, and he's one of the first guys I have looked at that has high strikeouts per 9, which is something that I've talked about. I think a Rockies pitcher needs to have to be truly elite. So let's learn some more about Connie Cruz. He is a starting pitcher from Louisiana. I'm going to sim through this game against the Cubs really quick. That is another victory for the Rockies. Michael Toglia is injured, and the Rangers are offering us Dustin Harris for Brenton Doyle. Harris is a 25-year-old with C potential who is 67 overall. Why in the world would I take this? You're asking me to give up Brenton Doyle, an A potential center fielder who's already better than this guy and only a single year older. What is this trade offer from the Rangers? That is horrible. But anyway, I think that is where we're going to end today's episode. We have this next series against the Giants that we'll get into in the next episode. I know that this second season has been going a decent bit slower than I was going last season, but it's because we're winning. I think that if we're winning, we can slow the series down a little bit, focus a little bit more on the team. I'm having fun with it. We're 26 and 23 now, guys. We are only 6 games back of the Dodgers, just beat them in a series, and we're currently in the wild card, basically tied with the Cubs, who only have 1 less loss, who we, by the way, just beat 3 out of 4 games in a series. So the Rockies are red hot. Let's actually, before I end the episode, take a look at player statistics. I'm curious about the minor league guys. So the guys I'm mostly curious about are Satchel Paige, Quinn Priester, Chase Dolander for pitching. They're all playing fairly well. Page's whip is a little high at a 1.43, but does have a sub 4 ERA. Chase Dolander in particular, it has been lights out so far this season. 2.8 ERA, a 1.2 whip. Very good numbers from Dolander. Lucas Gilbreth, by the way, has been a reliever down here at AAA. Not a single earned run given up yet, and he's pitched 22 innings, so that's not an insignificant amount. 0.95 whip, really good numbers. Tyler Kinley, who has been the closer at AAA, has been pretty good. And if we look at position players, I'm just curious how everyone is doing. Sean Bouchard is raking here at AAA. 377 OBP, 316 average. My goodness gracious. Amador has been good, maybe not really good. The contact and power against lefties going down is super concerning. Jordan Beck has been quality. He's up to a 70 overall officially. He's a guy I want at the majors like right now, to be honest with you. Drew Romo has been awful as the AAA catcher. We have to send him down. I'm doing that right now. He just continues to struggle at AAA. Let's send him down to AA and bring up, I was going to say Daniel Cope, but he's not playing super well, but that's who we've got. So Daniel Cope, welcome to the AAA roster. Drew Romo, man, I think he's going to turn out to be a bit of a bust for us. I'm going to be honest. I know he has B potential. It's only 80, and I think he might lose his B potential, to be honest with you, playing the way he's playing. Contact's bad. His fielding is like decent, but does it really matter that much if you can't even hit? It's very much the Brenton Doyle situation. Speaking of Doyle, he's actually playing relatively well at AA. The average still sucks, but a 300 OBP, like, I will take that. A 600 OPS, really not too bad from Doyle at AA. We'll see if he continues to play like that. I'm sort of thinking of him as a trade piece currently. Oh, by the way, Benny Montgomery went up to a B potential. I just noticed this. Benny Montgomery has been a C potential player basically this whole time. He's up to an 80. So, I mean, you know, I'll take that. A C potential guy that moves up to a B potential. Not too bad. He's playing very, very well at AAA right now. A 373 OBP, 800 OPS. Very good from Benny Montgomery. He's up to a 68 overall, guys. Like, we are deep in the outfield. By the way, if you're curious about our draft picks, here they are at Class A. At least most of them are down here at Class A. John Chirac is improving slowly but surely. He'll probably be up at AA before too long. Jose Zavala similarly improving and might be at AA. Currently, he would be easily our worst AA starter. fielder. I kind of want to wait until he's closer to Chirac, around like a 63 overall maybe. Carlos Pinto is a right fielder. He is only a 58 overall currently, but is doing well at single A. Unfortunately, they don't have any stats. The biggest concern about Pinto right now is he's a terrible fielder, and he's not great with the bat either. So a long ways to go for Carlos Pinto, but he does have that A potential. And that A potential, by the way, is a true 94. DeAndre Washington is a relief pitcher that I think we signed, or either he was a very late draft pick. He's improving slowly but surely. He's a lefty, which is something we definitely need more of. And then Aiden Bryant is a 52 overall with A potential as a catcher, and he's improving quite a bit, to be honest with you. But he's a ways away from probably being able to play at AA or AAA. His batting stats, other than contact against righties, are honestly really bad, but his discipline is not terrible for the fact that he's a 52 overall. Then there's Luis Acosta, one of the 18-year-olds. He's a 48 overall. Really long way to go for him. Not a terrible fielder considering he's a sub 50 overall. I mean, 55 fielding is decent in that case. Terrible with the bat. Yeah, just a really long ways out. These guys will not probably see the MLB until they're like 23. It'll be like 5 seasons, I would imagine, until they're close. And that goes the same for Michael Link, who is improving. He does have 94 durability, and he's not the worst player I've ever seen against lefties, but definitely not good. A long ways to go for Michael. There is Taylor Bowers, who has actually been playing at AA as a relief pitcher, has a 1.02 ERA and a 0.68 whip. He's already a 69 overall. There is an argument to be made that he could easily be at the MLB right now. I'm not going to rush it with him. I think he is easily the closer of the future for this Rockies team. I mean, look at these stats, man. He's really good. Just has to get that control up. Once that control is over 50, 60, 70, he's going to be a really, really good reliever for a long, long time. By the way, our AAA affiliate is 26-19, 8-2 in their last 10, also absolutely red hot. And our AA team is 24-15. So the Rockies organization in general is just cooking right now. You love to see it. The young guys are playing great. The old guys at the MLB level are playing great. Everybody's playing great, except for like Glenn Otto. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really enjoying this series so much. It's been my favorite series on the channel right now, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. In the next episode, we'll play this series against the Giants, sim a little bit of the way into June probably, and maybe start considering some trades, because June 15th is when I can start trading those free agents that we signed. And I'm thinking that we deal Kiermaier because he's regressing and he's still worth a decent chunk right now. Could trade him to a contender. That's a big part of why I signed him, is because I thought we could deal him for a decent chunk of change. But that's probably a couple episodes down the road. Like I said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode where hopefully the Rockies continue to cook.